Now, where are you from?
I'm from originally Valdosta, Georgia, bottom of the map. But I've been in Panama City ever since May the 9th, 2005.
And how old were you?
I was 19.
Oh, okay. Why the move? Any particular reason? I don't see the connection there between Valdosta and Panama. Maybe if somebody in Valdosta was living there, they'd probably move to Atlanta, I would think.
Yeah, well, it was like, you know, it was like a big transition. That was like doing the crunk scene, you know, when I moved, and that was a big influence on me. A lot of people's moving to Atlanta. I didn't want to move there.
Especially with music, you know, Atlanta's like the New York City of the South. I would think you would be there of all places than Panama City. Or if you did go to Florida, maybe a Miami or a Tampa.
Yeah. Well, it started in high school, taking the spring break trip, going down there, visiting Panama City and seeing, you know, what it was all about. And I liked it, you know, it opened my mind up, you know. I seen things that I seen on TV that I was seeing in front of my face, you know. And when I went back home, you know, it was on my brain, you know, graduated, you know, worked some jobs, and I'm like, you know, damn, like this isn't it, you know. I want to relocate. I was thinking Cali and I was thinking Atlanta, but at the time, you know, at the time, I didn't like the Atlanta music scene, and I didn't want to succumb to it.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, that crunk, you know, and Tallahassee was too close to move from Valdosta because, you know, people come there on the weekend. That's what we do, you know, being from Valdosta. We go out of town on the weekends, you know, we hit surrounding towns. So I didn't want to see any of my local people I grew up with. I wanted to go somewhere else and focus on my craft and blossom into what I am today.
Mm. Now, how often do you go back to Valdosta? You still got family there?
Yeah, I still got family. I go there maybe once every 2 months, you know, once every 2 months.
Now, what was it like for you growing up in Valdosta? Can you paint the picture for us?
Growing up in Valdosta.
Small town.
Yeah, small town.
College town, right?
Yeah, small town, college town. It was great. It was great because, you know, everybody like homie wise, friends wise, you know, we stuck together, you know, and it was love there, you know. We cut jokes and stuff, you know. I ran the streets, you know, did a lot of my dirt at my grandma's house, you know, so that's where, you know, I used to link up with all my homies.
Looking back, was it rough upbringing?
Nah. It wasn't no rough upbringing. My parents was blessed, you know, and I was blessed. You know, never really struggled. You know what I mean? Never we didn't really want for anything, you know. Like I made Christmas lists for Christmas, you know, when I looked at the sale papers, you know, and I damn near pretty much got what I wanted. But I had to, you know, keep up my grades. I had to do chores. And when I got, you know, of age to work, my family had their own business. I had to work, you know what I mean? So they really instilled, you know, a strong work ethic, you know, in me.
What family business?
It was a car wash and restaurant.
Still, is it still around?
No, it's not.
What happened?
I don't know what happened. I think they just had different interests, you know. They had different interests. Cause my mother ran the restaurant, my stepfather ran the car wash. I would work at both of them. Like to this day, like I know how to detail a car very good. Not that I like doing it, and I could cook many meals.
Now, what was your roughest moment growing up? I know you said you didn't really struggle, but you know, did you have a rough moment that sticks out to you, or
My roughest.
anything memorable as far as maybe the toughest time growing up for you?
My toughest. The only tough times I had was getting in trouble, getting whippings. You know what I mean? I didn't have no tough times, because I mean, like I was spoiled. I was spoiled. I was the only child up until 13.
Some people are indifferent when it comes to parents whooping their kids. What's your stance on that? I don't know if you have kids, but how would you kind of do the same things that you did when your parents were disciplining you growing up, or no?
I do the same thing, and I have 2 children of my own, and I have 2 stepchildren of my own also. I discipline all of them, and I have a son on the way. So
5 kids almost.
yeah, big family, man, big family.
What type of student were you growing up in school?
I was an AB honor roll student.
Go ahead.
AB on the road student. I could have picked my grades up, but I learned school and I was just comfortable. I was comfortable coasting. You know what I mean? I did just enough, you know, because when I was in the fifth grade, I had the opportunity to be in the gifted classes. You know, and I told my mom, I was like, nah, I don't want to be in no gifted classes. I feel like that's extra work, you know, and it really showed my potential, but at that time, you know, just let me keep making my A's and B's on what I'm doing right now.
Graduated high school?
Yes.
Tried college?
Yeah, I did 4 semesters of college for music production.
What's that, 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, roughly 2 years. Down in Panama City, at the community college down there.
Okay. But you never finished it. You dropped out.
Nah, yeah. I had a child, and I went through some legal issues, so I wasn't able to finish school.
Looking back, do you wish you would have finished school? Or was that amount of time, 2 years, enough for you to get a taste of it? Or maybe do you wish you would have never went to college and just went straight into music?
Nah, I think about it. I think about it sometimes.
Hindsight 2020. How do you look at it?
Sometimes I feel like I wished I would have finished it, because I had some trouble with music theory, you know, and I feel like, you know, music theory, you know, that helps you be more inclined with, you know, reading music and understanding, you know, the tempos and things. And, you know, I'm not a producer. I just wanted to be inclined as a vocalist to know all aspects. So I could be, you know, super MC vocalist, you know, and have that at my
disposal.
At my disposal, you're right.
Yeah. What did your parents think when you made that decision to drop out? What was their reaction?
They didn't really have a reaction. I mean, because I was going through a tough time. So I mean, they understood. They understood why I made my choice.
Were you able to get an AA degree, which is like a 2-year degree, or not enough credits to finish to get the complete AA?
No, it wasn't enough, because I had failed some classes and I had to retake, and some I haven't taken yet.
Okay. Now, what do you say to somebody watching this, and let's say they have a passion for music? Do you tell somebody, let's say a kid in high school, about to finish his high school, but has to make the next decision in his life of what to do, right? And what path to go on. Do you tell a person like that, go straight into the music and his passion for music, or do you tell that person, if they can continue their education, do music, their passion, and continue their education at the same time? What do you tell somebody?
I say continue your education, because the knowledge that I gain in the time, it doesn't add up. Like, it just doesn't add up. I feel like I could have got farther if I, went out of college and went straight into school. Knowingly that I wanted to go to school. I know that I wanted to be in the music business. The idea of school didn't come until I got adjusted in Florida. Got adjusted in Florida because, I graduated in Georgia, so, Pell Grants and things like that, you have to look into those things. But I would say go to school if you have a plan, go to school and do what you can actively on the side daily to pursue your dream, and don't veer off the path.
So after you drop out of college, do you take music seriously at that point, or is there like maybe you're doing other things and then you make a decision to make music serious?
Well, after the school, like I told you, like I had a child on the way, so this was taking a lot. It was taking a lot because the relationship that I was in, was kind of toxic, and having, a child, and I was married and all of that. So it's like, this music thing, it was on hold. It was on hold for a second, because, I was taking care of my family. But the music that I was making at that time, like, in the shadows, it was kind of depressing, because it was kind of like a depressing time for me.
Just to clarify, you were married and you had a child outside of the marriage, or you were having a child with somebody you were married to at that time?
I was having a child with someone I was married to.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to clarify. You also mentioned earlier, I don't want to be mistaken, did you do some things in the streets as well growing up, or no?
Yeah, I did.
I thought you mentioned that.
Yeah, I did. The things I did, like I told you, like I look back at it now, it was stupid, but because my parents, like, they gave me everything I wanted, anything I wanted, I just had to work for it. I was bad in school, I got whippings, you know what I mean? So all of that, it made me want to seek more adrenaline. I guess that's why I did, I did the things I was doing, had some homeboys, and, ran up in a couple places, grabbed a couple things, and we ran up out of there, and did that a couple times, and got away scot-free, but ran up in Wal-Mart, grabbed something small, and got caught. So, that was the whole end of that whole Butterfingers. Butterfingers, my little Butterfingers run.
What do you say to somebody listening to your story, and let's say they're a kid in school, about to finish high school, right? Let's say they have one foot in the streets, and high school is about to end, and they got to make the next choice in their life. What do you tell a kid like that?
I say stay in school, graduate, and go to college, because they will pay you to go to school. If you still don't know what you want to do the rest of your life, and you still on that school path, you need some guidance. College is more relaxed. You will get paid to go. So just find your niche. You know, you don't even have to go full time, but go enough to get your grants and figure out what it is what you want to do. That's what I say. You know, and hopefully that other leg in the street, you know, will come up out. You know, and you'll really find something that you really, you know, interested in.
When you say they pay you to go to school, you mean a loan, a student loan, or are you talking about a scholarship, like an academic scholarship?
The scholarships, the Pell Grants, you know, it's so many things out here that are in place, you know, for young people to take advantage of if they utilize them, if they seek the knowledge. Yes, like, I mean, they in a sense they pay you. In a sense you have to pay it back, but you have to pay it back only if you fail.
Oh.
You know, and most times you keep your grades up. You don't have to pay none of those grants back. Loans, yes, but you know, if you're an ideal student and you can keep that up, it's worth the challenge. It's worth the shot.
Scholarships you don't have to pay back either, I don't think.
Yeah, nah, I mean, that's why they call it scholarships, right?
Yeah.
That's why, I mean, you get awarded that, but yeah.
But you could lose it if you don't keep up with it. Like if you, I don't know how it goes, but you know, if you get a sports scholarship,
yeah,
you know, if you don't keep up with the sport, I'm sure they could take it away, or it could be removed, or some sort of thing like that. Same thing with academics. I'm sure there's like some fine print there. If you don't keep up with your grades, it could take it away.
Of course, yeah.
I don't know. Anybody watching this would have to look into that, but that's what my thought would be. They don't just give you a free ride and you don't, you know,
no free
do what
rides.
You're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's no free ride. Somebody have to pay for that ride.
What's a Pell Grant?
Pell Grant is a grant awarded through the state, and most people can get them if you apply for them. I know I got mine through like my parents. You know, I filed. My parents submitted their taxes. You know, living with your parents. You know, you're eligible for Pell Grants. That's basically free schooling in a nutshell.
Jobs you had growing up, if any? You did mention working for your family. Was that it, or anything else?
Nah. When I was 15, I had a job washing dishes in a Japanese restaurant. My buddy, one of my childhood buddies, he was working there. He got me the job. That was, I wouldn't say under the table, but like they paid me cash, you know. Then when I got 16, my mother took me to McDonald's. Like my birthday was on a Saturday, that Tuesday I was at McDonald's. You know, my mother was like, you know, Negro, you old enough to lay up, and you old enough to work. You're gonna work. You know, you're gonna keep those grades up. So that's mom's voice, you know, instilling that work in me.
Were your parents tough on you when you worked for them compared to any other employees?
Yes. Yeah, yes and no, because I never tried my parents. I knew my parents was, you know, I knew they was about what they was about, you know, and I never went against that. So when it was time to work, I worked, you know. I never slacked, you know.
I see. Any crazy stories? I mean, well, before I even ask you that, any of those jobs you mentioned tough?
At first, I mean, you know, flipping burgers, you know, going from washing dishes to flipping burgers, you know, it's a little different, but you know, it's assembly line at McDonald's, so it's nothing pretty much to it. They got all timers and things, and you know, leaving there and you know, going from like a short order place like I worked at Sonny's or like Cracker Barrel. That's a little more short order cooking, you know. But things like that, it's just learning the system, you know, learning that system and getting familiarized with it.
Why so many jobs?
Because I knew that's what I did not want to do. It just paid the bills.
Any crazy stories dealing with any of those jobs? Anything out of the norm?
Nothing I could think of.
Quit these jobs or got fired from them?
To iterate to the last question, one I got fired from. I got fired from. Yeah, I'll tell you a crazy story, man. Right before I was getting ready to move to Panama City, you know what I'm saying, I was working at a little Applebee's joint. You know what I'm saying? I was, you know, grill cooking, you know, cooking up them steaks, you know, putting them grill marks on them steaks, you know, medium rare, well done, mid well, you know, all of that and so forth, you know. So I was getting ready to move. Had my eyes on some stuff in the cooler, and I told my buddy, you know, like if he could help me sell it, you know, I'd break him off, but he had, you know, had helped me, you know, get some sales. So one day, you know, I was gonna fucking, you know, take some items, you know, take some steaks and, you know, some lobsters. So I went in the back and I was getting ready to take out the trash. So I grabbed the boxes, you know, and I like put them in some old boxes, you know, and kind of broke them down, you know, put them in there, and I put them like in the back. And I went out back and I pulled my car around because I didn't want to like walk across the parking lot with him. I just, you know, I was gonna change into a whole nother spot. So when I did that and I got out of the car and I went to go grab the boxes, my manager, you know what I mean, one of my managers seen me, you know what I'm saying, and like, you know what I'm saying, she fired me on the spot, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, when I moved to Panama, you know what I'm saying, like I didn't have no job. I had a job lined up, but the transfer didn't go through because I got fired. So I just lied to my moms, and then when I went down there and say, you know, I had a job, you know, but yeah, that was some crazy shit getting busted like that.
Are both parents still in your life?
Yeah, they are. My biological father, he's dead. He's deceased. He passed away when I was 2 years old. But,
from what?
He got stabbed.
Oh.
Yeah, he got stabbed.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's all good.
Your stepdad and your mom still together?
Yeah, they've been together. They've been together ever since I was 5, and been married ever since I was 15.
What do you think their secret is on staying together? Because most parents aren't staying together these days.
Ooh, what is their secret? Their secret is...
A lot of kids growing up in broken homes now.
Their secret is Jesus. That's their secret, Jesus.
You mean being religious and having a religious connection together?
Yes, having a religious connection. Because, like, they done been through some stuff. I done witnessed, you know, and I can't believe, you know, that they still, you know, there.
Now, you've been through some things, but in regards to your parents, what's the worst thing you put them through?
worst thing I put them through? Stealing when I got caught. I mean, when I moved out of my mother's house, you know, like I got my last whipping, you know, so I moved out of my mother's house, you know, and I'm like, you know, I'm not living here no more, you know, I'm staying with my grandma, you know, I can do what I want, you know, and because, you know, at that time I'm 16, you know, 16-year-old, you know, got a car, you know, do what he want, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, I'm not with no whipping. Well, no. I didn't have a car yet, but I was 16, I was working. I was making my own money, so I'm like, I'm making my own money, like, this nigga ain't finna be putting his hands on me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't happening, so I moved in with my grams, and then I stayed there a couple months, but right before I turned 18, I had moved in with my girl, you know what I'm saying? So, beginning of school year, I was living with her, you know, and then, you know, I was still doing hot boy stuff, you know, Butterfinger hot boy stuff, and got jammed up, you know what I'm saying? Went to Jacksonville, you know what I'm saying? Cause, you know, being in Valdosta, you know, we just, you know, we run through all the little towns, you know, all the surrounding towns, so, you know, that's how we do it. But got jammed up in fucking Jacksonville on some juvie shit, cause I wasn't even 18. Had to call moms. Grown man with a car living with my girl. 17, had to call my mom. She had to come get me. You feel me? And I feel like, you know, that was like the last kind of straw, you know, cause I didn't want to. I could have been, you know, got tried as an adult, you know, been in Jacksonville, you know what I'm saying, been messed up over there, but I didn't, you know, just got a little juvie, a little slap on the wrist, wrote an essay. My 18th birthday was 2.5 months later, so I was just going back in mom's house, just cooling for a little bit, you know, just cooling. It was just, you know, it was just a reprogram, slow me down.
Any siblings, or are you the only child?
I got a couple siblings. I got a little brother on my mom and my stepdad had, and then for my biological father, he has like a daughter and another son, so that's 2 siblings. And then my stepdad by marriage, he has he got like 3 other kids. 3 other kids. No. 4 other kids. No. 3. He got 3 other kids. So,
anyone else in your family raps aside yourself, or just you?
Just me. My little brother, he's 19. He kind of plays with it, but he's more poetic. He plays around with it. He's not like really serious, but he's, you know, sent me a little videos of him like rapping and stuff. But it's a little unique, you know. It's a little unique because, you know, he's 19. You know, this is the heart of his era right now. So it's very different from my style of rap. But yeah, he does a little bit. I don't know if he's gonna go all the way.
What does your family think about your rap career?
My mother, she kind of wants me to do like some Christian music, but, you know, I feel like, you know, as long as, you know, I'm happy, you know, and I'm not hurting nobody, I think, you know, I may eventually, you know, get there, or she may eventually be cool with it.
Are your parents supportive?
Yes. They're very supportive. They're very supportive.
Right away, or did they have to warm up to it?
They had to warm up to it.
Have they ever seen you perform?
Yes, they have.
What's their reaction?
My mother cried.
Tears of joy or embarrassment?
Tears of joy, man. Tears of joy. Tears of joy, because I performed in church. I performed a rap song in church. And like the song was, I was just basically having a conversation with my mother on record, just talking to her. But it was just it was like a poetic song, kind of like, you know. And I used Joel Santana, one of his old beats from the Diplomats, you know, Who Am I, recorded it. And I was just, you know, talking to her about, you know, my first childbirth, you know, and because I had a baby on the way, I had my daughter on the way, and I was just, you know, thanking her for everything she instilled in me. But I performed that song in church, and I think she cried, and 2 other women, like, you know, they shed tears. So yeah.
Has she heard your regular music? Yes,
she has.
And what does she think of that?
She's not very fond of it, but she's proud of my growth, 'cause she knows how far I came.
Now, we spoke about a variety of subjects in regards to your upbringing, but overall speaking, what's your message to the youth? What would you tell them today?
My message to the youth, I would say, stay in school, get your education, and follow your dreams. Don't let nobody tell you what your dreams are, you know. You make some mistakes, you know, that don't define your future. You know, you fall down, get back up, keep going.